What's going on, guys? Welcome on to another video. I'm here with Charlie. You'll see him in a future video. He has got the GS911, which is an OBD scanner reader.
Yeah, well, it's a few things in one, really. It is the OBD scanner reader, but it's also, you're able to unlock customizable features on the BMW bikes as well. So yeah, it does more than just a scanner.
Yeah.
As we'll see in a minute on your bike, there's lots of features that we can unlock that's already included from BMW, but they just let you have it.
Whereas if this was KTM, you wouldn't be able to do it yourself.
No,
you have to pay them with.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, definitely. So that's another thing that it can do. You can service the vehicle yourself and reset your service light, and change the service intervals if you wanted to. But it's really handy because you can have it with you if you're on tour, and if there's an error message come up that you wanted to clear. So the usual ones is the SOS button. That normally an error message can pop up on that, or tyre pressure monitoring, anything like that. We can just plug it in, get rid of it.
Do you get 10 licenses?
Yeah, so
like 10 bikes per?
That's it, yeah. So you get 10. So for the average consumer like myself that's bought one, this will last me forever and a day.
Yeah.
So I've only got one bike. Well, will be 2 bikes on there now. And yeah, as I change my bikes in the future, I'll still keep that. And I can use it for whatever features get unlocked as time goes by, because apparently the developers are always working on the latest bikes. Can't remember what the current list price of these are. Sometimes you get offers on. We'll have a look in a minute. It'll either give you a description of what the error code is and a link to Google, or we copy and paste the error code into Google and it'll come up in more detail on all the forums.
Cool, so we've got a laptop connected to the internet. We've connected the GS911 unit to the laptop and then to the bike via the OBD, which is in front of the rider seat on the right hand side just by the battery.
So yeah, there's a little clip in there, and basically this is tucked in out the way, and all we do is we unclip it, pull this out, and then we connect the GS911 to it. So this is the Wi-Fi version, so you can just connect it up to your mobile phone and just have it sat there, and you could be, as long as you're near the bike, you can just have your phone out and you can do it all on your phone. It's a web-based service, so what we're seeing on the laptop is going to be identical to what it is on the phone.
Yeah.
It's just because there's a bit of a black spot for internet here. We're hotspotting my phone to the laptop.
Yeah, we're poor, so, all right? We haven't got internet in the garage. Yeah. Just put it out there.
I haven't even got a garage, so, you know, you're doing better than me. So yeah, so we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way, so to speak, but that process is identical to what it is on the mobile phone. First thing that we need to do, so I've plugged it in, but I haven't done anything, okay, is we need to do what's called an auto scan. And what that's going to do is going to read the ECU, it's going to find out what the bike is, it's then going to copy the VIN number to the GS911, so that then
it kind of bakes it in, doesn't it? So
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So once it's in, it uses up a VIN slot, but then you can plug it in as many times after that. So if you decided you wanted to service the bike yourself, because I think yours is out of warranty now, isn't it? You've now got that flexibility where you don't necessarily have to take your bike back to BMW. If it's just for a basic oil service, oil and filter, which is every 6,000 miles. Most people do it themselves. So, yeah, so we do the auto scan first of all.
Yeah.
So for the time being, we'll just keep the ignition on.
Yeah.
When we're changing the screens and stuff like that, we'll probably need to get it running.
Yeah.
Just because when the battery voltage drops too low, it just won't like it. Okay, so it's going to do its thing. So we've got up in the top display there, it's showing that the battery's at 12.1 volts with the ignition on, which is about right.
Yeah.
But anything under 12 volts, be it the GS1250s, they just don't like it at all. Cool, okie dokie. So yeah, so we've got some faults coming up here.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So first fault is on the engine controller. So that is lambda control adaptation, bank 2, mixture correction, below threshold. So yeah, apart from that, that's it. So we'll clear all the faults.
Nothing too major.
Yeah. There we go. So I've cleared the faults, rescanned it, so you've got all green lights all the way through. If we then go into detected vehicle, these are all our different engine control modules that we can go into and do various things. So we can go into the ECU information, we can read individual fault codes on that particular module.
Yeah.
There's no point because you do an auto scan anyway, it does it all for you. Menu speed lock, so that's enabled. So this is a good one to turn off. So as soon as you go over like 5 miles an hour, you can't get into the menu. So if we unlock that,
yeah,
and then go continue. So once we do that, that's now programming that. Controller coding completed successfully. Cool. That's all done. Sports screen, this is the good one, the one that everybody wants. So what that's done now is that's programmed the screen to go onto the sports display. Yeah. So you can't have the original GS main rev display. So this is now going to be your normal one, yeah, which is the same as what you get like on the XRs. But on your menu button, if you scroll down, you've now got sport. So when you click into that, you've now got your sport display. So you've got live dynamic traction control. So as the back wheel starts spinning up, if you're over a bit of gravel, you're going to have a live display, and it feeds from the top. So 10% up to 50%, it will come through. Yeah. And then your brake pressure as well will rise from the bottom up live as you're squeezing on the brakes. Yeah. All right.
So for reference, Wi-Fi hotspot wasn't working very well, so we took the bike to the house, connected the laptop to the house Wi-Fi. We've done everything, and now we're just going to quickly run through the other options that you can go and flick around, and we'll tell you what we've changed on the bike. So
yeah,
over to you, Charles.
The first thing that we did was change the startup animation from the GS specific one, and we actually changed that to the M Sport logo and the BMW Make Life a Ride.
Yeah, there's about 10 or so different options.
Yeah, so the actual head units, the actual LCD displays, they're all the same from factory for every single bike that has a multifunction display. All they do is they program it to the type of bike that you've got.
To an XR.
Yeah, so if you've got RR, whatever, it would have that specific animation, which on that device we could change it to whatever we want. Yeah. And the next main thing is our standard display. We've gone from the GS display to the sports one. Yeah. I quite like it. It's a bit different. Unfortunately, you can't have the GS display and the sports screen.
Yeah, you can't flick between.
Yeah, it just resets it to that theme. So you've got the blue theme as well. So if you go onto your sports display, so we've also repositioned the menu buttons. Yeah. So normally from factory, it's slightly different. We've put it so you go, when you click on the down arrow, you're straight into your sport display. From standard as well, when you're in the setting display, once you go over 5 miles an hour, it locks you out. We've unlocked that as well. So if you did have to do something on the fly for whatever reason, you can go in there and you haven't got to pull over. Yeah. Next thing that we changed on there was your heated grips. So
much needed.
So it's infamous with this model year of bike. Nothing, so off. Setting 1 and 2. Yeah. 1 we found out going through the system was set at 60%, and then setting 2 was set at 100%. Yeah. Thermonuclear.
That's it. I always found out, like 1, you're like, yeah, I can kind of feel it, but it's not doing enough. Yeah. Go on to 2, and you're like, it's now burning my hands.
Exactly, yeah.
So having that ability to change and...
Yeah, so we added 5 customisable heated grip settings on. We went from 30% all the way up to 100% on 5. That's going to give you a bit more.
This is now the sport screen within inside the sport screen. So the initial screen, let me go back to it. This is the kind of sport screen which you find on the R and the RR and the XR, and then you push down into the menu and then down again straight away, which then goes into the sport, and so this is where you got your DTC, your braking, your lean angle and things like that. It's cool to have. I do think the lean angle, if used incorrectly, could be a dangerous thing, because you like try and beat it, but if you forget it's there, then it's a nice thing to see at the end of a ride maybe. Now obviously Charlie is an IAM instructor. Why do I feel like I'm on an IAM led ride with him behind me probably judging my terrible riding, whereas normally I just have Zoe judging me. I've got an OBD reader for the cars. I think it's something that is very useful and handy just to kind of keep in the garage, so if something does pop up you can then just put it in and see what it is, and it kind of gives you that little bit of peace of mind as well, especially if there's something that you're not sure what the fault is. and whether it's something that you need to get into the dealer straight away to get sorted, or whether it's something that potentially could wait for later on. But what's even better is if you have a friend with a GS911. Thank you very much, Charlie. Well, for us filming, it was a little bit disjointed because of the internet Wi-Fi issue. But actually, once we took the bike to the garage, from the garage to the house, connected to the house Wi-Fi, it just, every heading, every setting just went through straight away. So absolutely not the software problem, just internet problem. Technology, fantastic whilst it works, shit when it doesn't. I'll leave a link to the Hex website. It's no affiliate or anything, it's just a website link. So if you do want to grab yourself one, head on over there. Something, like I said, well worth doing. Well guys, I hope you found it useful, hope you learned something. If you did, give it a thumbs up, more importantly subscribe to the channel. And there's nothing else to say, but until the next one, ride safe.